tragic point, my friends. What would I do if I could suddenly feel and to know once again that what I feel is real? I could cry, I could smile, I might lay back for a while. Tell me what would I do if I could feel?
Get out my chair. Be gone. Covers in the house. Coming to you live out of the Port City, Wilmington, North Carolina. Good morning, y'all. I'm your host, Howard Elamine. This is No Covers. Coming to you, it's that June 3rd, 2016. Yeah. Charles Drew this morning, y'all. Charles Drew birthday. Dr. Charles Drew. Check out our No Covers Facebook page. Charles Drew, discover of the blood bank. You know, during World War II, soldiers was dying, and Charles Drew found a way to store his blood up. Really considered the father of blood transfusion. You know, there's mystery about his death. They say, you know, he died on the way to the hospital. Some people say it was segregated hospitals and he wasn't able to get proper care. Others say that he did get proper care. You know, it was interesting that he died needing blood. That's the interesting fact. The father of the modern day blood transfusion. We see these blood banks today and all over the town and storing up blood. You know how many people he lives? He saved Dr. Charles Drew, y'all. A black man. Know your history. Know your history. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. No Covers. Coming to you live out of the Port City, Wilmington, North Carolina. I'm in a good mood today. This is Friday. It's Jummah for us Muslims. Jummah Mubarak for you all that are going to the mosque today. You all are not, the same to you. Have a happy Friday. Got so much going on in the city, so much going on in the country. I'm just glad to be able to thank God for allowing me to continue to do what we do here at No Covers. I named today's shows Winning the Race. Winning the Race. Winning the Race. Watch a little. I didn't watch the game last night. Game one. I watched it on computer. I made a decision a while back. I think I told y'all this about a year ago. I decided not to stop watching professional sports. I don't watch it on the TV. I may watch the score while I'm working. But I realized that if I wanted to be what I wanted to be, and that is I want to be a great writer. That is my final goal. Auditory skills, my father gave them to me naturally, so I'm kind of confident in that. But my writing skills have to improve. If I want to be the Langston Hughes, the James Baldwins of this world, I have to improve. I've got to learn how to write more fiction. I've got to learn how to get my language down better. And so I study. I got videos and tapes and books that I study on writing. So I have to spend that extra time because my ultimate goal is not it's in front of me, but it's not here. It's a distance off. It's like a race. The ultimate goal that I seek, the ultimate happiness that I seek, the ultimate desire that I seek is to be one of those greats. I mean, there's nothing wrong. Don't ever let someone think you have a big ego because you desire to be great. That's man, wow. Yeah. Don't ever let anyone think that you got a big ego. You desire to be that. So, but you can't desire it and not practice just trying to win it. So I've learned that to win the race, you have to have discipline. I am now beginning to win the race. I was running for years, but I wasn't winning. Look back at my life, I can look at it like, boy, you was running fast. But you was running into stuff, knocking over stuff, but you wasn't winning the race. Now, over the last couple of years, I began to learn to win the race. And one of the first things I started to do that I want to share with you today is I learned to be who I am. Each of us have a characteristic that is us. It defines us. And a lot of times we don't like to be who we are because of what it may look to someone else or how it may feel to someone else. As long as you can live with it, and the way to do this, and it's Friday, so I'm in one of those modes. The way you can do this is to check yourself. The way you check yourself, God allows you to check yourself through prayer. If you can have a personal relationship with God, then it allows you to not worry about what someone else has to say. And if you have a personal relationship with God and the person has something to say, then they have a personal relationship problem with themselves. Because if you're practicing what you know to be right, if you practicing what you know to be right, now if you running off half-cocked and making up stuff as you go along, yeah, the person has a right to knock on your door and say, yo, man, you look ugly. you don't look good. He's doing you a favor, really. The person that comes to you under that circumstances is just really doing you a favor. He's letting you know, hey, you got some stuff to work on. You got to check yourself. And I'm realizing people are not confident in who they are because we're always worrying about what someone else has to say or what someone else thinks. Let me show you how this works in our local situation here. Because you all know at No Covers, we've been covering the case down at the courthouse. And we've covered it for some time. I want to get an old talk show that I have out that me and a brother did in the studio. I'm trying to find it, locate it for him. Because Vance Williams has been on the front line with this subject for some time. And we appreciate that. And as I told him recently, sometimes when you don't think you have help, you have help. But when you out front, sometimes as leaders, we let the other person go ahead out front. Because you don't ever want to overstep your bounds. You want to follow the lead of the person that's out there. So if they're moving on something, you step back sometimes. So don't think when you're doing something, when somebody pulls back, they don't have your support. They're just kind of following your lead sometimes. So in this case, I'm noticing, as I've stated several times, that we are concerned with victims' behavior. A behavior that, for many of us, man, we got to stop being so phony. Let me say it that way. Because, okay, yeah, the victim, the one who got beat, the one who was in, well, I'm glad when this video come out. Not this one, the one that's coming. See, when you actually see the video for yourself, I think what will happen, many of us have heard what's on the video. And for me, all I needed to know was the statement that was said. I didn't need to see the video with my eyes. But when you see the video with your own eyes, I think a lot of people will change their opinion real quickly. And they won't say they're wrong, well, they should, but they're not. They're going to run to aid, hopefully, because they're going to see the victim, the person who was hurt, the person whose life was put in danger over something, yes, wrong, carrying some product that he shouldn't have been, being in some areas that he shouldn't have been, something that many of us have done, something that many of us know or have children that have done, and something of us that sometimes condone. But all of a sudden, when the media gets it, and the person that's working next to us who happen to don't look like us is reading the paper in the break room and says, hey, this wasting our time fooling with this. This boy should have been jailed anyway. He shouldn't have given the officer a hard time. And we don't know how to counter that. Then we take on the same opinion of the person, and then we come back in our own community and say, y'all don't need to be fooling with that boy. Why? Because somebody told us we don't need to be fooling with our child. It's like the government telling us not to take care of our children. Someone's planted in our head that we don't need to be fooling with a child. So I had one of the most disheartening experiences I want to share with you yesterday. I walked into a courtroom, a United States courtroom, a courtroom on the 4th floor of our courthouse. A trial going on in which an officer told a young man, do you want to die in this car tonight? When I walked into the courtroom, the first day I heard it was pretty, pretty packed. His friends were there. Second day, thinned out. Wasn't that many. Because we really should be in shifts anyway. Everybody can't stay all day long. We understand. People got work to do. But you got an hour. You got 30 minutes. You can pop in just to show your support. To walk into a courtroom and count about 28 white people. And to see this young man, and the only person standing beside him or sitting beside him was his brother, David Rivers. If it hadn't been for Vance Williams walking in about an hour later, I really probably would have lost my mind. Because I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to figure where... No, I don't have to figure it out. I already know what the problem is. We're still being controlled by somebody else's thought process that's telling us who we should support and who we shouldn't support. People, I'm telling you, that's a shame. Community, I'm telling you, that's a shame. We should hang our heads. Are you going to find something about the individual that might be I might not want to stand with him? Probably. You're going to find out that he has a disability. You're going to find that out. You're going to find out that he's been struggling with school all his life. You're going to find out that a mental health system, if they really tell the whole story, destroyed him years before he was even born. You're going to find out that he's been in and out of school, he's having trouble with school. You're going to find out that he's had some behavior issues because not on the proper medication, not having the proper doctor. You're going to find all that out if you stay with the case. That's what you're going to really find out if they really tell the story. Mr. C, I know the story because I know his brothers and I knew him. He's a fine young man. Wrong place, wrong time, wrong name. But that doesn't give an officer. I'm sorry. I can say to see it. One thing about being yourself, when you be yourself, you find your freedom. And your freedom becomes that you can express what needs to be expressed regardless of the consequences. The officer was wrong. Simple as that. Do you want to die in the backseat of this car? You threatened to kill my son? You're that upset with him from resisting? Use your taser and tase him. But chokeholding him, hitting him with your stick, like a dog? No. So what happens now? Well, let's give you the scenario. What happens now? What happens now is the courtyard comes out. The king's court comes to the land. The king's court presents itself. What happens now is what's happening. What's happening now is the phone calls are being made to the power brokers in the black community and saying, hey, don't you mess with him. The power brokers in the black community are being told, don't go down there and mess with this case at all. The pastors are being railed in and saying, look, hey, tell your church people, leave this one alone. Because why? A video is coming that's going to be very upsetting to the people. And we want you to keep the people calm, leaders, if you want to remain a leader. That's what's being done right now, behind the scenes. Don't worry. We still here. No Covers is going to cover you and tell you what's really going on. Yeah. That's what's being done. That's what's being done. That's been done since 1898. That same press that's giving you bits and pieces of the case, let's see what they're going to do with this video. Hopefully they can get it. That same 1898 press is still there. Star News was the same press back then. The one that ran Manley out of town. Yes. Let's see what they do. And let's see when it comes out. To my young people, I've told you over and over, I don't want you to react. I've already been out on the streets talking to young people because I know they're going to be upset when they see the video. To you old people, I want you to look at it. And I want to hear you old people. You ones that say, look, because the man had 3 bags of heroin, we shouldn't touch him at all. Like he got the plague. And like Cousin Johnny ain't got 8 bags in the back of his car right now. Yeah. That's old heads. That say, yeah, because, it ain't a clean cut Huxtable family that we don't need to be bothered with them people. Man, we sound like them sometimes. Yeah. Here's what we should do. We should be in that courtroom by shifts if we have to. That man should never have to stand by himself in that courtroom. And he's not even on trial. That's the point that most people miss. Travell Rivers is not on trial. He went home after getting his beat, was charged, served his time, and was done with this. An investigator looking at tapes in the police department found the case, sent it to the DA. Javale didn't do anything. They called him in and had to tell him, you were abused. That's what their department did. They found the tape. They investigated the crime, and they are the ones that charged the officers. Not him. His family hasn't even put a suit up. Not yet. They did this. And now they want to tell you, let the officer go. Whew. Bismillah. Man, I want y'all to really look at what's really going on behind the scenes, y'all. I want y'all to take a closer look at what's going on behind the scenes. Because we don't wake up, get up out of our comfort zone, and start doing what we know to be right, we're going to lose this race. And I'm trying to win the race. So I'm going to finish up today. I got a meeting at 9. I'm going to head back down to that courthouse for the defense closing ceremonies. Then I'm going to go to Juma and I'm going to make prayer for my son. If I can get back, I'll get back again. If not, I'll talk to the family later. And I'm going to keep on running. No covers. And just a disclaimer, no organization do I represent, no affiliations. That guy talking, he's the other guy. Yeah, we're trying him. Peace.